We are going to talk about the confusing, stinging, and often infuriating world of backhanded compliments. We are going to explore why they hurt so much, why we feel a burning need to react to them, and most importantly, how doing absolutely nothing in response is actually the most powerful move you can make. It sounds counterintuitive, I know. We are taught to stand up for ourselves, to speak our truth, and to correct injustices. But when it comes to the subtle art of passive-aggressive digs, silence is not weakness. Silence is a shield. Silence is a mirror. Silence is the ultimate reclamation of your power. Let us begin by unpacking the invisible punch. We call it an invisible punch because, on the surface, it looks like a gift. It comes wrapped in the packaging of a compliment. The words are technically positive words. You look nice, or good job, or I love that dress. But there is a sting in the tail, a shadow attached to the light. It is the qualifier that changes everything. It is the phrase, "You look great," for your age. It is the comment, "That outfit is so bold," for someone with your body type. It is the colleague saying, "I am surprised you pulled that presentation off. It was actually quite good." Do you feel that subtle drop in your stomach just hearing those examples? That is the dissonance. Your brain hears compliment, but your intuition hears insult. It creates a confusing emotional cocktail. You might smile reflexively because you were trained to be polite when someone compliments you. But 2 seconds later, the aftertaste hits. You realize you have just been insulted to your face, but in a way that gives the other person plausible deniability. If you call them out on it, they can say, "What? I was giving you a compliment. You are being too sensitive." This is why backhanded compliments are so insidious. They are designed to make you question your own reality. They are gaslighting wrapped in a ribbon. This phenomenon is rampant in 2026. In a world where overt aggression is often frowned upon, people have mastered the art of the subtle dig. It happens at family gatherings. It happens in office break rooms. And it certainly happens in the comment sections of social media. The immediate reaction is usually a flush of heat to the cheeks. You might feel a sudden spike in your heart rate. This is your body registering a threat. Even though no one is physically attacking you, your social standing and your sense of belonging are under siege. It feels like a betrayal because it often comes from people who are supposed to be on our side, friends, family, or close coworkers. But why do we care so much? Why does a sentence that is 90% nice and 10% mean ruin our entire afternoon? To understand this, we have to look at the ego trap. We have to look at the ancient wiring in our brains that demands a response. Biologically, we are social creatures. For thousands of years, our survival depended on our standing within the tribe. To be mocked or belittled was a signal that our status was dropping, which meant our access to resources and protection was at risk. So when someone throws a verbal jab at us, Our amygdala, the fear center of the brain, lights up. It screams, "Defend yourself. Correct the record. Do not let them get away with this." This is the prove them wrong impulse. You hear, "You are actually quite smart," implying you usually are not. And your brain immediately wants to list all your degrees and accomplishments. You want to fight back. You want to explain. You want to make them understand that they are wrong about you. But here is the hard truth. The person delivering a backhanded compliment is usually not interested in the truth. They are interested in power. They are interested in a momentary dominance over you to soothe their own insecurities. When we engage with the insult, when we get angry or defensive, we are stepping right into the trap they have set. We are playing their game by their rules. We spend hours afterward in the shower or lying in bed, scripting the perfect comeback. "I should have said this," or "next time, I will tell them that." This rumination is a thief. It steals your peace. It steals your sleep. And it steals your presence. The other person has likely moved on and forgotten the comment entirely, while you are still carrying the heavy luggage of their rudeness. This is where we must learn the art of the deflection. This is where we learn the surprising power of the pause. Imagine for a moment that a backhanded compliment is a tennis ball served at you with aggressive spin. Your instinct is to swing your racket and hit it back as hard as you can. But what happens if you just drop your racket? What happens if you let the ball fly past you and hit the curtain behind you? The game stops. You cannot play tennis with someone who refuses to hit the ball back. The pause is your most effective tool. When someone says something like, "I wish I could be as relaxed about my messy house as you are," your instinct is to explain that you have been busy or to feel shame. Instead, I want you to do nothing. I want you to take a deep breath. Count to 3 in your head. 1, 2, 3. Look at them with a calm, neutral expression. Do not frown. Do not smile. Just look. In that silence, something magical happens. The words they just spoke hang in the air. Without your defensive reaction to cloud the moment, the awkwardness of their comment becomes incredibly visible. The silence acts as a spotlight, shining directly on their rudeness. They expected you to get flustered. They expected you to validate their passive aggression by engaging with it. When you do not, they are left holding the uncomfortable energy they tried to pass on to you. This is the mirror technique. By not reacting, you are holding up a mirror to their behavior. You are forcing them to sit in the silence of what they just said. Often, they will start to backtrack. They might nervously laugh or say, "I just meant that you are so busy." They will try to fill the silence because the silence reveals their true intent. You do not have to say a word to win this exchange. Your composure is the victory. Many of us fear that silence looks like weakness. We worry that if we do not snap back, people will think we are pushovers. We think, if I let this slide, they will do it again. But there is a profound difference between passive silence and active, intentional silence. Passive silence comes from fear. You are too afraid to speak. Active silence comes from power. You are choosing not to lower yourself to their level. It signals a high status. It says, your opinion of me is so irrelevant to my self-worth that it does not even warrant a reaction. That is an incredibly intimidating level of confidence. This leads us to the unseen victory. How does non-reaction change the long-term dynamic? When you consistently refuse to react to backhanded compliments, you are retraining the people around you. You are teaching them that you are not a source of narcissistic supply. People who use these subtle digs are often looking for an emotional reaction. They want to see you squirm, or they want to see you seek their approval. It gives them a hit of dopamine. If you stop providing the reaction, you stop providing the reward. Eventually, they will stop the behavior because it no longer works. They will move on to someone else who is easier to trigger. You are also preserving your own energy field. Every time you get angry or defensive, you are leaking energy. You are giving away your power to someone who does not deserve it. By keeping your peace, you keep your power. You walk away from the interaction feeling whole rather than fragmented. You realize that their comment was never about you in the first place. It was about their jealousy, their insecurity, their need for control. You are just the screen onto which they projected their own movies. So, how do we practically master this inner shield in our daily lives? How do we prepare ourselves for the next time Aunt Susan says, "It is so brave of you to wear your hair like that"? First, we need to practice pre-visualization. Athletes use visualization to prepare for a race. We can use it to prepare for social interactions. Close your eyes and imagine a scenario where someone gives you a backhanded compliment. Visualize the person. Hear the tone of voice. Now, instead of feeling the anger rise, visualize yourself taking a deep breath. Visualize a shield of white light around you. The words hit the shield and dissolve into smoke. They never touch you. You smile calmly, say nothing, and turn your attention back to your coffee. Rehearsing this mental response creates a neural pathway in your brain, making it easier to access that calm state when the real moment happens. Second, we need a default phrase. Sometimes silence feels too heavy, or the social situation demands some kind of closure. My favorite phrase for this is a simple, flat, "thank you." Not a sarcastic thank you, not an enthusiastic thank you, just a neutral acknowledgement of the words spoken. If someone says, "You are so lucky you found a partner who tolerates your quirks," you simply say, "Thank you." By saying thank you to the literal words, you completely ignore the subtext. You are refusing to accept the insult hidden underneath. It confuses the attacker because you accepted the gift wrapping, but threw away the bomb inside. It effectively ends the conversation. There is nowhere for them to go. They cannot say, "No, I meant it as an insult." They have to accept your thanks and move on, defeated. Another powerful phrase is, "What do you mean by that?" If you feel the need to address it, ask this question with genuine curiosity. When you say, "I am brave for wearing this," what do you mean by that? This forces them to explain the insult. Usually, they cannot. They will stutter and backtrack because explaining a joke or an insult ruins it. It exposes their malice. This is a higher level technique, but it is very effective for repeat offenders. But the most important work happens when you are alone. It is the work of building your emotional resilience. The reason backhanded compliments hurt is that they touch a sore spot within us. If someone insulted your ability to fly a helicopter and you are not a pilot, you would not care. You would think they are crazy. But if they insult your parenting, or your appearance, or your intelligence, it hurts because a part of you worries they might be right. To become immune to these digs, we must cultivate a self-worth that is independent of external validation. We must become our own best cheerleaders. Every morning, look in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. I am intelligent. I am kind. I am worthy of respect. I am beautiful. When you are full of your own validation, you do not need it from others. When your cup is overflowing with self-love, a drop of poison from someone else cannot contaminate the whole vessel. I want you to think about the most confident person you know. Imagine someone says something petty to them. Do they get angry? Do they cry? No, they probably chuckle, or they do not even notice. They are so anchored in their own reality that the petty judgments of others float by like clouds. That is the state we are aiming for. It is not a state of arrogance. It is a state of deep, grounded peace. We are moving through 2026 with a new intention. We are no longer the victims of other people's words. We are the guardians of our own peace. We are recognizing that a backhanded compliment is a reflection of the giver's pain, not the receiver's lack. Let us explore a specific scenario to ground this. Imagine you are at a dinner party. You have brought a dish you are proud of. A relative takes a bite and says, "Wow, this is actually edible." Usually, your cooking is such a disaster. The old you would have snapped. You would have said, "Well, next time you cook then." And the mood of the table would have soured. You would have looked like the aggressor. But the new you takes a slow sip of water. You set the glass down gently. You look at them with soft eyes. You pause for 3 seconds. And then you simply turn to the person on your left and ask, "So, how is your new job going?" Do you see the power in that? You completely deleted their comment from the reality of the dinner table. You denied it oxygen. You did not let it land. By pivoting the conversation, you showed that their negativity is not worth your time. The relative is left looking petty and rude, while you look gracious and unbothered. That is the unseen victory. It requires patience. It requires practice. You will fail sometimes. You will snap back sometimes, And that is okay. Be gentle with yourself. We are undoing a lifetime of conditioning. But every time you manage to catch that reaction, every time you manage to take that breath and choose silence, you are laying a brick in the foundation of your new, unshakable self. This journey is about realizing that you are the main character of your life. The critics, the passive-aggressive colleagues, the judgmental family members, they are just extras. They do not get to write the script. They do not get to direct the scene. You do. And the most powerful direction you can give is to simply not engage with the drama. As we wrap up today, I want to leave you with a thought to carry with you. Your energy is currency. It is the most valuable thing you own. Do not spend it on people who are trying to bankrupt you emotionally. Save it for your dreams. Save it for the people who love you loudly and clearly. Save it for yourself. When you refuse to react to a backhanded compliment, you are not just ignoring a rude comment. You are making a declaration. You are declaring that you respect yourself too much to participate in your own belittlement. You are declaring that your peace is more important than being right. You are declaring that you are whole, complete, and valid, exactly as you are, without the need for anyone else's qualified approval. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope this message resonates with your spirit. I hope it gives you a tool to use the next time the world tries to test your patience. Remember, you have a light within you that no amount of shade can dim. Protect that light, nurture that light, and let it shine so brightly that the shadows simply have no place to exist. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What is the most ridiculous backhanded compliment you have ever received? And how did you handle it? Let us share our stories and learn from each other. Let us build a community of people who are too busy loving themselves to be bothered by the noise. Until next time, keep your head high, keep your heart open, and remember that the most powerful sound in the world is sometimes silence. You are wonderful. You are strong. And you are doing a great job. Bye for now.